Total failure. She did not move the needle at all. I'm sure you watched last night the Kamala Harris interview with Bret Baier on Fox News. She had an opportunity to really explain to Fox News viewers how she could help them, and she didn't. Instead, she just kept repeating her same few small ball plans for the economy, which she has all but admitted are just a pipe dream unless the Democrats take complete control of both houses of Congress. You saw she's been asked, like, what if there's a Republican House? What if there's a Republican Senate? How are you going to pay for that? And she told Stephanie Ruhle, well, we just have to. We just have to. What? What if you don't? The question is, what if you don't? And she did no better in addressing that massive problem to all of her plans last night. She spent the majority of her time bashing Trump. That's what obviously this was about for her. She wanted to go on Fox News, into the belly of the beast, and just bashed Donald Trump. It was a one long game of Trump the Pinata with a bunch of attacks that in many cases were utterly baseless. This, Madam Vice President, was the wrong strategy. You should have called me. You should have called me. Because I worked at the place for 13 years, and I know the Fox viewers very well. And you do not win Fox viewers over by bashing Donald Trump. They love Trump, or they're at least open-minded to Trump. You win them, if they're winnable at all, by showing them, the ones who aren't huge Trump fans, but are Republicans or have voted Republican or at least kind of Trump open-minded. You show those people that you are a better option because you can help improve their lives, that they can trust you, and that you aren't as radical as they have been hearing every day, all day on Fox News for a year. You didn't do any of that. None of it. Instead, what Kamala Harris did was she took every opportunity to show the audience she, and really Joe Biden, are the chief sufferers of Trump derangement syndrome. She lied over and over and over on her positions, on her policies. She denied her own record. And the worst sin was, and we saw it over and over, she dodged question after question after question after question after question, and then played the victim, trying to sound indignant when Bret tried to get her back on track. That was the biggest dynamic of the whole interview. Time and time again, she failed to answer the questions. I mean, on big issues. Immigration, whether we should use taxpayer dollars to fund trans surgeries for prisoners and illegals, which is important, but also is a stand-in for the overall issue of trans and the erasure of women. Finally, Bret asked her about Biden's mental acuity. No, she failed to answer that one too. Instead, she filibustered. That was her go-to trick, either with non-responsive pablum, that was her number one choice, or sometimes on another issue entirely. Just get out of bounds, talk about something totally unrelated. And honestly, this is a politician's trick, and it's not unusual to see it. But in response to everything, you're not addressing any substance. What are you doing there? You're trying to win voters in a new forum. Why would you say nothing? The only thing of substance she said was Trump sucks. And that's the wrong strategy when dealing with Fox viewers. Honestly, it was just stupid. I don't get it. And then when Bret would try to redirect her back to the question asked, she acted like he was rude. He's rude. A word her lapdog media sycophants keep repeating today. Let me tell you something about, to those of you morons who think that Bret was rude in trying to get her to answer the question asked. It's not her air. It's Bret's air. It's Rupert's air. But it's in that half an hour exchange, it is Bret Baier's air, not yours. You don't pay to keep the shop open. You don't go out and deal with the advertisers. You don't hire the staff. You don't work with the producers. You don't lay out the lineup. You don't hire the talent. It's his air. His, not yours. You being there is a gift to you. Roger used to tell us, never thank anybody for being on your show. He used to say, don't say thank you for being here. It should go the other way. Thank you for having me. They should be thanking you. You're giving them a massive audience of several million people. I don't know what the ratings will be for last night, but it'll be big. it's your gift to them, and it's your job to control the air when you have a guest on, to keep it interesting for your audience, to keep the car driving straight ahead, and to not let it veer too far off the track. That's your obligation. Brett is employed because Fox believes accurately that he will deduce what his audience wants to have asked and seen discussed. It is not up to her to come hijack the entire interview with empty talking points we've heard 10,000 times. He did absolutely the right thing by redirecting her over and over to the question asked, and on behalf of his audience, pressing her for a real answer. He did nothing wrong. I thought he crushed it, which I posted on Twitter last night. He did a great job. Now, her little act today is being praised by the left as, she looked tough. She was tough. But this was not tough. This was not toughness we saw from her. This was a candidate incapable of answering hard questions over and over, trying to dodge long enough to ideally distract the questioner. And when Brett was not distracted, then she would begin to whine that she wasn't being allowed to answer. That's not tough. Tough is answering the hard questions, which, let's face it, virtually every president, a candidate, can do. Obama could do it. Romney could do it. McCain could do it. Trump can do it when he wants to. When it's one of his favorite issues, he'll go right there. She blew a big chance to define herself in a new way, to say, take the border. Yes, the border is a mess. But look, Brett, I was vice president, not president. I've seen what has happened to people like Jocelyn, the young girl who was 12, who was murdered by an illegal she let in. And I'm totally committed to stopping this. Having had this experience in the number 2 spot has only made me more resolved, should I be elevated, to take care of this problem. And here are the executive orders I will issue on day 1 to do it, irrespective of whether I can get Congress to cooperate with me. That's not what she did. She just dodged. I'll show you the exchanges in a second. Same thing on the economy. She should have said something substantive instead of her myopic little $25,000 for first-time home buyers. You know what a collection of people that is? Not big enough to just make it your platform. She should have said Trump spent us into oblivion. He was like a drunken sailor. He wasn't exactly an economic purse clutcher. Now that I might be in charge, I'll take a more reasonable approach. And we'll fight the debt and we'll fight inflation. And here's exactly how. She doesn't know. She doesn't even understand those 3 plans she's unveiled. She's been given some talking points, which she repeats incessantly, and they're empty. She should have given some points that sounded reasonable to Fox viewers. And she almost did it on the border. She admitted the border's broken, but she took no responsibility. And then she tried to gaslight us into believing she's really Stephen Miller, Trump's border guy. With it. Fingers in the belt loops, the thumbs in the belt loops. John Wayne, she came out last night with her little routine. I'm the only one who's prosecuted transnational criminal, whatever. Biden's mental acuity, that was another one. Thank God Brett asked about that. That was great. Thank God somebody finally did it. Good for him. But frankly, it was downright embarrassing she didn't have an answer on this. How does she not have an answer on this? She just assumes no one's going to ask her. No one has. I'm like, I'll give you an answer, Kamala, okay? You should really listen to this show more because I could help you, all right? You should have said something like, Brett, what I saw was an older president who had moments of forgetting his words sometimes or his train of thought, but was still entirely capable. That's what my experience was with him. And then came the debate, and as you know, within weeks of that, he resolved not to run for a second term. What else can she say? But what she said in the interview was, Trump. She was, the TDS was like coming out of her ears. That's not responsive to what did you know and when did you know it, which was really his question. So none of this is going to assuage even a single viewer who watches Fox, who thinks you lied, you cooed, and you won't admit it. Lumen is the world's first handheld metabolic coach. It's a device that measures your metabolism through your breath. The app shows whether you're burning fat or carbs and provides tailored guidance to improve your nutrition, workouts, sleep, and stress management. You see, you breathe into your Lumen first thing in the morning, and then based on your measurements, Lumen gives you a personalized nutrition plan for the day. You can also breathe into it before and after workouts and meals to get real-time insights. Your metabolism is your body's engine, how it turns food into fuel. Optimal metabolic health translates to numerous benefits, including easier weight management, improved energy levels, better fitness results, and better sleep. Lumen can also track your cycle, adjusting its recommendations to maintain a healthy metabolism through hormonal shifts. If you want to take the next step in improving your health, go to lumen.me/Megyn to get 15% off your Lumen. That's lumen.me/Megyn for 15% off your purchase. Thank you, Lumen, for sponsoring this episode. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.